I'm Nick Armstrong, lead organizer of Founded in FoCo, and this is the Founded in FoCo podcast. We interview movers and shakers in the Fort Collins business community and beyond. Today, I'm here with Fort Collins Mayor Jeni Arndt.
Sure. Hi. Thanks, Nick, for having me. As Nick said, I am Jeni Arndt. I am Mayor of Fort Collins, elected this April, and proud to be sitting in my mayor's office, serving all of you, and very happy to be promoting something as quintessentially Fort Collins as entrepreneurs getting together to support each other.
Yeah, our community really is, one of the things that I noticed is starting my own business was just that how many different entrepreneurs sort of leaned in from every different circle to help and to offer advice or to lend clients or whatever else they could do to help accelerate my success. And I've done the same thing, sending the elevator back down and making sure that our entrepreneurs can do the same in our community. Jeni, what have you noticed in our business community as trends?
Oh, well, just a bit about the entrepreneurial spirit in Fort Collins. In 1964, my parents moved here for just that reason. This was the place my dad thought, and later we find out my mom, as much as the entrepreneur as he was, that he could really let his creative business juices come out and be supported, right? So there's a synergy in a community, I think, that builds on each other and attracts people who also then help. And one tiny vignette, I was telling someone not from Fort Collins this, and they said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, everyone in Fort Collins is a side hustle. I mean, my realtor has a US patent pending. And I said, so when you get home from doing real estate, you go into your garage and invent stuff? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, well, yeah. My mom makes greeting cards out of tea bag, paper. And they said, well, what? I don't get it. And so then we were at a breakfast spot and the waitress came up and I said, so I see you're a waitress. And she said, yes. I said, do you do anything else? And she goes, what do you mean? I go, well, what else do you do? And she goes, oh, I make organic dog food. And she pulled out her business card. And it was a perfect example of what I think attracts people here, right? Sometimes we need other jobs to support our entrepreneurial habits, but we all have a creative thing. And I think we feel that. And Startup Week is a great time for all those entrepreneurs, a dedicated week for them to get together.
Jeni, do you have a side hustle of your own that you want to share?
Well, I do. I make jewelry. And I do what I would call sort of bad, arts and crafts. I've been known to make a lot of felted items, felted backpacks. Sometimes I go to the Goodwill and buy their cashmere sweaters and wash and dry them and cut them up and make scarves. Those are a winner at Christmas. Lots of stuff. And then for a long time, my mom and I had a little thing called Just in Time. And we would invite, we'd have our stuff out and the people in the neighborhood were also making stuff. And it just got to be this neighborhood thing. And we basically buy each other's arts and crafts, just enough money to buy the material for next year. And we did that probably for 10 or 15 years.
It's such a cool thing to be able to engage in the community in multiple ways and to really have that depth of understanding of everybody has a side hustle. Everybody in Fort Collins is doing more than one thing, not out of necessity, but just because they want to, they're driven to do the thing. Do you have some favorite businesses in Fort Collins? I know it's sort of hard to put you on the spot as a public official to say these are my favorite, but do you have favorites?
Right. Well, as you said, I probably wouldn't show any bias about one excellent business over another, but I will say I am very supportive and encouraging of anybody who's out there taking a risk. Right? We have tons of good products, and what I like is seeing some of the businesses that started very, very small and now are very large corporations. We live in the house where the person who started Waterpick used to live. So those sorts of things. And then the spinoffs from CSU and all the synergy there between a great research university and a creative town coming together. I just think it's exciting.
There's such great resources in our community. CSU, as you mentioned, they launched the Larimer Pivot program during COVID, and the SBDC. Are there other organizations that you'd like to highlight while we're here?
Sure. I think the chamber does a great job, right? And the more people who join the chamber will become the business voice for everyone. I know there's different business associations that I've been trying to make it to, North College, and there's the DDA, and there's the Midtown. So people coming together with like interests, trying to improve their community. I don't think it gets better than that.
PSD even has their own incubator with the Futures Lab. It's such an exciting place to have a business and to start your ideas and collaborate with other entrepreneurs.
Exactly. And even here at the city, you think, oh, how creative can government be? Well, we have a special committee called the Futures Committee, and we meet once a month, and we just simply get to brainstorm. And at the first meeting I went to, I started just going, and I was like, can I say that out loud? And I was like, oh yeah, this is where we just go, what about this? What about the future of food and local production? How is that going to change in the future? Like, and where do we want to position, and what role, if any, does government have in this? And a lot of times not, but it is the time when we come together and we just get to and I don't know how many cities have futures committees where this is just a dedicated brainstorming creative time. And I definitely go to all the futures committees meetings I can.
It's sort of hard to read the tea leaves, but what do you see as the future of business in Fort Collins over the next 20 years?
Well, not to be an old timer, but I hope it's like it is now. I mean, I hope that we keep getting new blood with new ideas and mentors from more established businesses that show that same collaboration. I mean, I know our brewing community, right? They come and help each other brew, right? And they don't see this as a win-lose. They see it sort of like an agglomeration economy where the more of them, right? So I hope, and I think it will continue to thrive that way because of the way, just what you said, take the elevator down and help somebody back up. When you've been mentored that way, you're happy to pass it on as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And actually right behind me, the first dollar that WTF marketing ever earned is right on my wall. And it has a quote from the person who gave it to me. So yeah, it's really important part of our community to support one another. Are there any last thoughts that you want to share with the Fort Collins Startup Week audience before we wrap up today?
I just want to thank you for hosting and for bringing everyone together. And I want to thank all the participants too. And I hope that a city government can be a really good partner with you to support you, help you, and also be good customers. So if anyone would like me to come visit their business, I love doing that because I'm also from an entrepreneurial family that also I kind of like knowing what's going on. And I'm happy to visit, and thank you for all you do for our city. You're what makes Fort Collins special.
Yeah, and thank you to the city too for all the support that you've lent Startup Week over the years. Between Shauna and Shannon and the entire economic development team, Josh, all of them have been fantastic and good stewards of our local resources to help businesses thrive.
Well, it's exciting.
Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Nick Armstrong, and this is a Founded in FoCo podcast. For more great interviews like this one, join us at foundedinfoco.com.